Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to Iowa Cattle. I hope you're all doing very well and having a lovely day. Right then, so it's the 1st of April, it's drilling time, drilling season. We have got 223 acres of land to get drilled this month with corn and beans, and also a little bit of alfalfa as well. So it's good. We've got a lot to do, a heck of a lot to do, and so yeah, busy, but I'm just on my way down to the cotton fields because I'd like to have a quick look at those, because funnily enough, it's one of these weird things. I know those of you who've kept up with the series so far know that I've never really done much of cotton in the past. I've done the odd contract here or there, going back to FARMERSIM 22 as well as 19 and also 25, but I've never actually done my own land with cotton. So I've never actually seen a cotton field in its first growth stages. So now that we've got that down here, field 17, and my very imaginatively named custom field, field 22, we're going to go down and just have a quick look at these and see how they're doing. I know you can see things from the PDA, but like I say, I've never actually seen. Where's my road gone? What's happened here? That's a bit strange. I've painted a road down on this side of the map here, the side of the field. A bit misty down here. Oh well, that's something funny. I'll have to sort that one out. Goodness me, that's some thick mist, that is, isn't it? But yeah, we're just going to go and have a look down here and see how it's doing, because it's a new thing to me. But like I say, we've got a lot to crack on with in this month. Like I say, 223 acres to get drilled. Oh, there we go. There's a little bit of it, and it's even gone down here. How has this field reset itself? That's very strange. Right, well, I'll have to do that, sort that out at some point. But anyway, there we go. A little bit of cotton going on there, ladies and gentlemen. That's all awesome. I know we can see this one here, field 17, but because field 22 is a bit bigger, I'm just hoping the mist isn't going to stop us from seeing much of it. But yeah. Anyway, so like I said, it is the 1st of April. That was close. And as you might have seen from the thumbnail, we have something quite special to utilise very shortly. Now, I'm running auto drive here, and this is my mistake. I shouldn't have routed the auto drive course into the field there. I should have run it onto the grass, but there we go. There we are. Look at this, our little cotton empire. Well, this is awesome. Now, of course, nitrogen and pH values are all good. Expected yield 89%. That seems relatively low. We're at growth stage 2 of 9. So a good couple of months ahead of a good few months ahead of us before this thing comes to fruition. But I'm really looking forward to it. I really am. It's good to finally start trying new things, as it were. It really is. There was other things I'd considered as well. There was someone had put a post on Discord a couple of days ago, maybe a week or so ago, saying that they'd had a go with poplar, and it had been pretty lucrative. I think the numbers they were talking, I've no idea the size of the field they were working with or whatnot. And poplar, obviously, you harvest and turn to wood chips, but I think the numbers they were looking at from the field that they were working in was somewhere upwards of $1 million, and that it did get me to thinking a little bit. But then I thought, no, I've got to rein myself in here, because we've got more than enough to crack on with on this farm, in this series. Obviously, certainly as a result of the last episode as well, where we've taken on another 300 head of cattle. So yeah, I've got my I really have got my work cut out for me on this. But like I say, I'm really looking forward to it. Now onwards, like I say, from the last episode, and considering the increase in head of cattle that we now have, it's kind of made me rethink only a little bit where I'm going to go and what I'm going to put in the fields. Now, I did run through a very brief crop plan that I had. It might have been in the last episode, I think, in that I do want to try and consider crop rotation as best as possible. And so what we've got is essentially what was in the fields previously. See, now I'm driving this myself. I'm going to do the correct thing and just stay off the grass. I'm properly confused as to why that's done that, because I've done no messing around with fields or anything like that, especially not in easy development controls or anything. But why that's reset itself, I haven't the foggiest. Anyway, but yeah, crop rotation. So if I just jump very quickly into the map PDA. So previously, field 5 here was corn. We're going to turn that to beans. Field 10 here was beans. We're going to turn that to corn. Fields 1, fields 11, and fields 3 here are grass, and we're going to be keeping that as grass. And also the little field up here, field 16, is grass as well. Field 4 down in the down here. This was corn, and we'll be turning that to beans. And field 15 here. Now this was the alteration that I've decided to make. So because we've now taken on the extra 300 head of cattle, bringing our total to somewhere in the region of about 1,360 something head of cattle that we now have on the farm. The main thing I need to focus on is the creation of the total mixed ration. Now we've got loads of silage still. We've got loads of straw over in the TMR mixer that's up here on the farm. But the one thing that we are, and I say we're slightly lacking on, we're not slightly lacking on. We've got 800,000 litres of this stuff, I think, at the minute. But it's hay. So I need to try and increase to match the rest of the quantities that we've got of the hay total. So field 15 here, that was corn, we're now going to turn to alfalfa, because I did say in the last episode that I wanted to keep my hand in some alfalfa. Obviously, I've got rid of this field here, field 6, that we can still see on the PDA, but it's no longer an active field. This is the new cow pasture that we added in the last episode. So that's kind of by the way now. And then we've got this plot of land up here that was the other alfalfa field. Now, as you can see from the icons there, I've done a little bit of work in this field, and that's something I said I was going to do in the last episode as well. So we're going to go up and have a look at that now. I'm going to go and show you what I've done there. But yeah, so field 15, the massive field there, we're going to turn that to alfalfa. So what that does do, aside from the grass fields, it enables me to have a full crop rotation and change everything from our arable land there to something different. So just you know, just seems like the right thing to do, doesn't it, really, to be fair. But yeah, I do love this new cow pasture, just being able to make use of this strip of land, as it were. It was yes, it was great having it as alfalfa, but doing things as I like to do with course play and auto drive and turning field work into cinematics and stuff, it was a little bit awkward because it was quite narrow, especially right down at the other end there. So turning it to a custom pasture, I felt was just the right thing to do. And it's nicely populated as well. Now you can see visibly the 300 head of cattle. So in the last episode I did say that I wanted to do a bit of work in this field, and that is exactly what I have done. I've enjoyed myself this last I did it yesterday. Spent a good few hours just losing myself in the construction menu. So let's just turn the engine off for that now and have a look and see what I've been up to. So it's still not finished. It's nowhere near finished. There's so much you can do with the construction menu and the landscaping and the decoration and all that. There's a whole load of texture painting. I need to get better at this, because it's an art form in my opinion. Seeing other farms made by other people, especially my good mate Chimera, who's an absolute genius at doing this, in my personal opinion. The blending of textures on the ground and stuff, making these driveways and roads look natural as opposed to just slapping down one paint texture and just, you know, covering the place with it. It's a real art form, being able to add more to it and taking advantage of the different textures on the ground. So I've tried my best so far, but it's like I say, it's nowhere near finished. I spent most of the day doing this yesterday, changing things here. Now I've invested a little bit of money. As you can see, we're down at $170,000 now, which is it's a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot less than what we had. So I threw 80 grand at this massive shed. Now, I said I wanted to place down a shed that was going to accommodate my lorries and the lorry and all of its trailers. But I have also played a little bit more musical machinery, and I've parked a couple of the bigger stuff in here. So as you can see, we've got the animal trailer, we've got the Peterbilt, we've got the triple hopper trailer, and we've got the tanker. Now, scale wise, until I parked these things next to each other, I hadn't really appreciated the scale. I'm sure, don't get me wrong, I might be completely off with this, but I'm sure the scale's wrong on a few of these. Now this Peterbilt is a beautiful mod, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely awesome. But when you stand at the front of a truck, I'm sure, isn't the grill meant to be a little bit higher up here? I don't know, maybe I'm off with it, I'm not too sure. But then when you compare the size of this, what is generally, as a rule, a massive thing, is a big long Peterbilt American truck like that, and then you compare it to the size of this Brandt auger wagon, which I know these things are massive in real life, but when you look at the size of that and then look at the size of the truck, it's like, nah, maybe I'm off. But then you look at it compared to the tanker here, which I know it's a custom tanker in a way, and it does have a smaller a smaller tank than the usual things that we're used to, but it just looks absolutely tiny, doesn't it? But anyway, that's by the by. So obviously we've parked our slurry tank in here, and these things, and now these just have a bit more of a dedicated space to keep parked, and it's freed up a bit of space over there. So I've done a little bit more musical implement, shifting things around. I've moved the liquid fertilizer tank over here next to the shed, because it wasn't sitting right with me being down there right next to the cow barn, and it was pointed out to me in a comment in one of the last episodes as well that you wouldn't ordinarily have a massive pressurized tank of liquid fertilizer right by your cow barn. So that, makes sense. So we've shifted it over here, moved all the liquid fertilizer of course as well, and then what we've done up the hill is the other thing I wanted to do up here was, or in this area of land anyway, was just place down a couple of dedicated bale barns, sorry. So we've got a couple here. So the idea is I'm going to keep one of these for straw when we come to harvest time in several months' time. We're going to get, obviously, we'll have corn straw and we'll have soybean straw as well, because I am running Yoss Modding's extended straw harvest mod, of course, as I do on all of my game saves. So we'll be getting a load of straw off of those, and they'll be going in there, and then the alfalfa bales and any other bales that we can create on the farm will be going into this one, or one or the other, you know what I mean. But we've got two bale barns essentially. This is the same model that we've got down on the farm. It does, even if I bring up the F1 menu, we can't see any, it doesn't bring up any icons when you make the icons visible, but somewhere around it, there we go, open storage dialog. Each one of these holds 800 bales, so yeah, we should have more than enough capacity to hold the amount of bales that we've got. Obviously, stuck a fence down here on the edge, just considering some kind of health and safety, because it is quite a drop. But yeah, so I'm quite happy with the way it looks so far. And of course, I'm a sucker for a water feature, aren't I? So I turned, while this little bit of land here was just like a vacant bit of grass, I thought, you know what, let's have myself a little pond. So I went from a little pond to a massive pond. Bit of decoration. Again, I just like doing that kind of thing. It's my kind of thing. So yeah, we've got something nice to look at. A nice little peaceful, tranquil pond. Well, I suppose, is it big enough to be called a small lake? I don't know, but it's a big one. But nonetheless, it looks kind of cool. Quite happy with it. But yeah, like I say, I know we've still got a couple of patches of land here, and like I said, I had to rein myself in a bit, because I was thinking, do I place down like an open chicken pasture here or something like that, and that was a consideration. So just to bring in some eggs, I suppose, because it could be a sizable, if I used obviously Cookie's fenceless pastures mod, I could make quite a decent sized chicken pasture here and just have them roaming free on the grass, and depending on how many I could get in there, it could be quite a big pasture, a big enclosure, and in the fullness of time could bring in a decent amount of money from the eggs that they produce. But anyway, I've not done that yet. That was something I didn't want to go too crazy with, because I did spend a decent amount of money. So anyway, right, let's focus on the first thing that we're going to do. Now, it's I suppose it's no secret, because at the minute I think it is going to be slap bang in the middle of the thumbnail for this video, but we're borrowing some vast bit of equipment. Now, these are mods that have just recently been released by Josh over at Forward Agricultural Solutions. Now, Josh makes some incredible mods for Farming Simulator. He's been a bit quiet lately over the last few months since the release of Farming Simulator 25. He made some wonderful things for Farming Simulator 22, and he has long been one of my favourite modders out there, making some exquisitely detailed and incredible mods. And like I say, you'll have seen from the thumbnail, but yeah, we're borrowing a Seed Hawk and the air cart that accompanies that Seed Hawk, and this gigantic liquid fertilizer caddy. And we're also borrowing a John Deere 9RX from Hispano Modding that's over on the Mod Hub to do the job. Now, it's a seeder, so we can't take advantage of it with our corn and our soybeans, but what we can do is drill some alfalfa. And here we are heading back into the mist again. So like I said before, this field here on our left, field 15, is going to be our new alfalfa field, and hopefully we should get a ton of alfalfa off there in a few months' time, which I'm really looking forward to. So let's get ourselves down to the dealership here, the newly laid out dealership with our hidden NPCs stashed away in that container. But honestly, look at that. It's like the biggest convoy I think I've ever worked with in Farming Simulator. It is selfishly big. It really is, and it's painted properly in John Deere livery. Now I kind of, with this whole thing, I kind of thought, you know, it's like it's on a demo essentially. That's the way I thought I was going to be doing that for this episode. Now normally, I suppose, you know, when you borrow something like this is north of $1.1 million worth of equipment here. It's some amazing stuff, it really is. So we have, but like I say, it's all been painted up in John Deere colours as much as possible. But this is the work of Josh at Forward Agricultural Solutions. We've got the Seedhawk toolbar here, which comes in Seedhawk or Vadestadt brands. I've just kept it at Seedhawk, but I have been able to custom the colours. So yeah, all in John Deere yellow and green in a few places. We've got the Seedhawk 980 air cart here, and we have, of course, his incredible KC 9500 liquid fertilizer caddy here, bringing up the rear, again painted in John Deere colours, as you can see. But this thing is just massive, isn't it? You could drill a continent with this. The capacities of these things are absolutely incredible. We'll jump into the dealership and we'll show you these. But if we go to the seeders here. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. I'm in my garage. Oh no, this is right. So this the air cart here can hold 34,500 litres of seed, which is massive, and the sprayer here can hold 35,961 litres of liquid fertilizer as well. So within the confines of the way we're doing this, we've been essentially given this to use, to borrow for a bit. As you can see from the number plate on the 9RX, it says demo, so it's not ours, but they have also very kindly given us a full tank of seed and liquid fertilizer. So drilling this alfalfa field isn't going to cost me a single dollar, hopefully. That's all good. So yeah, we're going to be I'm going to be putting my driving skills to the test with that, definitely. But as you can see as well, and again, going on from the last episode, as I come in and out of the game, and I've got to assume that it's because of the sheer quantity of the capacity of this cow pasture here. But at the minute, all we can see is the brown Swiss cows that we have here in the pasture. There is brown Swiss and Holsteins, but the other pastures that we've got on the farm over closer to the farm, they both visibly show the Holsteins and the brown Swiss. But this one, I think, just purely because of the capacity of it, is there's something there. Maybe Arrow wasn't expecting people to have pastures that can hold over 1,000 cattle, but it's all good in my book. It's all fine. It's just a visual thing. But yeah, so anyway, enough of my dulcet tones. We need to get cracking with this, don't we, ladies and gentlemen? It's going to take some... Well, it's not going to take anywhere near as long as it would have done, because the seed... Well, let me remind myself of the width of the toolbar here. Where are 25.6 meters. So even though it is a massive field that we're going to be working in, this should hopefully, fingers crossed, make light work of it. So let's jump in. And like I say, this is going to put my driving skills to the test. And I'm even going to do it. I'll try and do it properly. And do it from cab. I'm asking for trouble here, aren't I? I really am. I'm going to have to do some careful planning, setting this thing up on courseplay, because the last thing I wanted to do is reverse. That's for starters. But we're going to have to make sure that we plan the leaving rows, skipping rows, possibly skipping at least 2 rows to give this thing a fighting chance of being able to turn. But look at this. An articulated tractor towing an articulated convoy with 4 implements. Let's just go nice and slow. Good job I've got all the traffic turned off, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Look at that. Quite proud of that. Don't speak too soon, FARMERSIM. You haven't finished yet. You've just got it out of the car park. But we haven't got far to go. This is going to be where we're going to. Field 15. But the entrance is a little bit further down. Look at this. What a thing. Let's just jump out of cab mode. That is gigantic. It really is. Now, I did say I was sticking with cab mode. Now, here we are. This is the entrance to the field. Need to be extremely careful here, because there is a dip where those water channels are. It's not a very wide entrance. I think I am going to fail here, though, aren't I? Let's be honest. Not too bad. Not too bad. You can see that through the mist. Oh, do you know what? I'll take that. I'll take that. Not bad at all. So, here we are. The field that we're going to be borrowing this to do the work with. I suppose ordinarily, if you were to borrow something like this, you'd probably borrow it for a decent amount of time, but this is the only field that we can take advantage of. This is a cedar, so we can do the alfalfa, but we can't do the corn and the beans, so this is the only field we're going to be able to take advantage of it with. But I don't care. Having the ability to rummage around with one of these for a few hours is going to be awesome. It really is. So, let's get cracking with this. I'm going to try my very best to pop this into a cinematic. I'm going to take a few minutes to plan the and sort out the course play course. Now, what I might actually do as well is just, even though time is of the essence in a way, because I want to get, we're in 3-day months. We've got 3 days to get all 223 acres drilled. There is a few other things to do on the farm. We've got, if I jump into time saving stock check, we do have, where are we? We've got just under $80,000 worth of milk to get sold. So that's something that we need to focus on. We'll get that done at some point, but we'll be all right for now. But yeah, like I say, we've got 223 acres to get drilled across April. The weather's given good for today, right the way through today. So I need to take advantage of that as well. And thankfully, this is going to make light work of this massive field. It really is. So yeah. But for now, I'm just going to focus on this. Like I say, spend a few minutes plotting out my course play course, and I'm going to hope very much that I get it right. Like I say, skip a couple of rows, do a couple of, I'll plot a couple of headlands, and hopefully that should give it enough room to turn around at the end of the up and down rows. And I'm sure, touch wood, fingers crossed, that we've got more than enough seed and more than enough liquid fertilizer to get this job done, because alfalfa isn't going to use a huge amount of liquid fertilizer, let's be honest. We've got to take advantage of the free stuff, haven't we? So, let's get cracking.
What you're putting in, all your hopes and efforts are all in vain. Who will pick you up when you've lost everything? Does it all become for granted with a wedding ring? Oh,
Well, what a job, ladies and gentlemen. This has performed incredibly, quite frankly. Now, those of you who are avid users of Courseplay will know that taking on something like this can result. It can be a bit daunting initially because you've got an articulated tractor unit, You've got an articulated air cart as well, which can end in disaster sometimes. I suppose you can also consider that it's not articulated, is it? But you've got the kind of the steering axle on the front here, so it can end in massive Seedhawk shaped knots, can't it? I'm sure, again, those of you who are users of Courseplay have all experienced something like that at some point. But that worked absolutely faultlessly from start to finish, and I suppose it is all down to the setting up of the course. Now, what I did, those of you who are even remotely interested, I skipped 2 rows and I turned off the ability to allow reversing for pathfinding in the turns, so there was absolutely no reversing whatsoever. We skipped 2 rows to give this massive convoy the opportunity to kind of turn at the end of each of the up and down rows, and I ran 3 headlands, so to give it plenty of space again to maneuver around at the end of the up and down rows. So that was brilliant. But if we jump into the PDA, there we go. Our alfalfa is completely drilled, all 80 acres of it. Now, this is the biggest field we've got on the farm, so being able to utilize this wonderful thing to be able to get this big job done has been brilliant. It's an opportunity that I just I didn't want to turn down. Don't get me wrong, I know within the confines of the series it's me just throwing the stuff into the game for free, but yeah, we've borrowed it, we're testing it, we're demoing it, as it were. I really do wish I had more land to take advantage of something like this on it. With this, I mean, it's perfect for this size of field and bigger, and maybe a little bit smaller as well. But obviously, with it being a seeder, I can't do soybeans or corn. So you know, the rest of the other fields I've got to carry on using my my Kinsey that we've got back at the farm, which is all good. I just wanted to have a go at using this thing. As I say, Forward Agricultural Solutions has recently released it. The link will be in the video description below to Forward Agricultural Solutions itch.io page, where you can download all these things. Of course, the 9RX being that's on the mod hub, that's by Hispano Modding, but the toolbar, the air cart, and the liquid fertilizer tank at the back there, that's all over on the itch page for Forward Ag Solutions. So I highly recommend you go do it. But like I say, I just really wanted an excuse to use it, because this being my American series on the channel at the minute, it's the only opportunity I've really got to use it. So can you imagine trying to thread this around the narrow lanes of Etruria? I mean, it's even Saxlingham, I suppose. Yeah, it's way too big for Saxlingham, but then I suppose that kind of thing you wouldn't really have in the United Kingdom, really. This is, in my opinion anyway, in my knowledge, this is pretty much a US only thing, isn't it, really? But yeah, it is absolutely mega. So we've made a good start on our land, on our drilling for this this month in April. The biggest field being done. Obviously, we've got the corn and the soybeans to follow. Can you imagine how long this would have taken me to do using my my seeder that I've got on the farm at the minute? It's I don't even think we've even used that so far in the series so far, have we? But either way, that would have taken hours. That has literally just taken me 58 minutes to do that. I did fast forward time. We are on 11:30 in the morning now. I did fast forward time a little bit just to get rid of the mist, essentially. So we kind of started that job at about 9:35, I think it was. So yeah, it's awesome. So anyway, for this episode, though, I am going to call it here, because I know I have prattled on a bit, and but we have made a good start and a good dent in the drilling to come. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. I really do hope you have enjoyed the video and found it a little bit of fun and a little bit interesting. If you're new to the channel and you've enjoyed the video and you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please hit that like button too, as it does do wonders. It helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. If you like the idea of supporting the channel, there are a couple of ways you can do that. There is my Giants Partner promo code if you're looking to purchase Farming Simulator 25 or any of its add-ons or DLCs. There's coffee.com if you'd like to buy me a coffee. And there is also my G-Portal affiliate link if any of you are looking to purchase a multiplayer server to play with your mates. All the links to these will be in the video description below. And as always, any help and support there, ladies and gentlemen, would be massively appreciated. So, thank you very much for your time again, ladies and gentlemen. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.